Hi everyone, in this video I want to show you how to factor the difference of two square. So when you're given the difference of two square, basically if you have two numbers that you can rewrite it, each of them as a square, okay, you can factor it like this. So you want to do two empty factor like that, okay, and you have to make sure that when you draw the empty factors, the sign between needs to be negative, okay, the same, and then the other one needs to be positive. Again, it doesn't matter the order. Okay, you could also put the plus first and then the minus after. Okay, so it's a formula. It works each time, and the reason why you want to plus and negative is because you want to cancel out the middle terms, so that instead of having a quadratic with three terms, you have a quadratic with two terms. Okay, the plus and minus you cancel the middle term. Okay, and then what are you going to write here? What terms are you going to write? Okay, here. Okay, for within each factor. So basically, you want to grab, so you want to take the base, okay, or the square root of each term. So you're going to write here a minus b, the factor a minus b, and then the second factor you're going to write a plus b. So you notice how I dropped the exponent of 2. We don't have any more exponents, and the same is true here. If you want, you could have put the factor of the plus first. Okay, I like to put the factor of the minus inside and then switch it to plus. So why? So remember, a times a is a square, okay? And then negative b times positive b is going to be negative b square, okay? So that's why you don't need to write the exponent of 2 again within each factor, okay? So this is a formula I would like you to remember for life, okay, if you can. So let's do a couple example, okay? Example number 1, and I want to show you, you have x squared minus 1. Okay, you need to ask yourself, okay, can you rewrite this as a square? Can you write both terms as a square? Because I see the difference. I see a difference and I see 1 square. Can I write 1 as a square? Yeah, so remember, um, 1 can be written as what? 1 over y square, I get 1, and you all can tell me is 1, right? So now you can see here you have a difference of 2 square. So how are you going to factor the difference of 2 square? So you're going to draw 2 empty parentheses like this. So remember you're factoring, okay? And then 1 you're going to write a minus, and then the other a plus. So now you're going to write the term, the x and the 1 by itself, okay? Because the x represent a and the b represent, the 1 represent b. So you're going to write x minus 1 times x plus 1. Okay, so that's the factor form of this quadratic binomial, the quadratic expression made of two terms. So what does it mean? Okay, so in case you want to check your work, you can multiply and see what I mean by that. You can see the middle term. So if you multiply, you can use the box method or distributive property twice. But let me use the box method here. For this video, I'm going to use the box method. Okay. So since, okay, so now I have a factor. So I'm going to write a factor on the outside. So here is x minus 1, and on top is going to be x plus 1. Okay, then you're going to multiply. X times x is x squared. X times 1 is 1x. And then negative 1 times x is negative 1x. And then negative 1 times positive 1 is negative 1. Okay, so now let me rewrite the expression below. So what do I have here? So I have x squared plus 1x minus 1x minus 1. Okay, so do you notice something here? Okay, so we notice here the middle terms, okay, are opposite. The same number with opposite sign. One is positive, the other is negative. So that cancels out to 0. Okay, so we are left with x squared minus 1, which is our original expression. That's why it's important for one of them to be a negative and the other to be a positive inside the factor. Why? So the middle term can be cancelled, okay? Then you're left with quadratic expression made of two terms. Okay, So for some of you, if you don't remember the formula for now, the formula seems confusing, okay? I can show you another way you could have factored this, okay? And it will work because this is pretty simple, it's basic. I can rewrite x squared as x squared minus 1 as x squared plus 0x minus 1, okay? So the a here is 1, so you want to find two numbers that add to what? You want to find two numbers that add to the b number, which is 0, and you want to find two numbers that do what? The same two numbers multiplied by a times c, and a here is 1, okay? 1, so you have 1 times negative 1, which is going to be negative 1. So you want to follow the same principle and do okay. Okay, and find two numbers that multiply to 1 times negative 1, which is negative 1. What are those two numbers that multiply to negative 1 and add to 0? I guess where you are is negative 1 and 1. Okay, then you're going to go back and rewrite x squared, replace the middle term with the middle term here is 0x with negative 1x plus 1x minus 1. And then you're going to factor by using the box method or by grouping. Okay, should end up with the same thing. By using the grouping method, okay, you can also do by using the box. You end up with the same factors. So you get x minus 1 here plus, and then 1. The common factor is 1 times parenthesis x minus 1. And then you factor out the greatest common factor in both, on the left and on the right, which is going to be x minus 1, okay, times x plus 1, okay? And this is the factor form, okay, which match with what you've done on the left here, okay? They're the same factor form. So I show you here, so like you could have just applied the formula, okay, and it was pretty efficient, okay, save time if you remember what to do, which is going just to do, okay, rewrite each term as a square, okay, and then you want to draw two empty factor, and inside of each one, make sure one is a negative and one is a positive, and each term, we write the term without the exponent. That's what I've done, and that was fast. Or you could have also used what you learned before, okay? Use that knowledge to factor, but it's going to take more time, but it's still doable, okay? So, and then I use this one is for you to check our work. It's for you. It was for us to check that you were factoring correctly, and to show you why one needs to be a negative and one needs to be a positive, so that the middle term can be cancelled. Okay. So thank you for listening to my video. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.